What's going on, guys? Dan the Vet Man here. I hope you're having a great day. I just got back to the Perfect Auto and Muffler Shop here in Beltsville, Maryland, not Millersville, Maryland. This Perfect Auto and Body, the Muffler Shop, is here in Beltsville. So picking up the C7, and I have the work order. I'll get into that a little bit, but needless to say, they did a great job. It ended up being the torque tube, so aka the drive shaft assembly. The whole thing had to be replaced. As you know, GM does not repair torque tubes, so they sent over a new one and they had to take it off and take the old one off and install that. But I'll go in a little bit more detail, but let's get a cold start. So to get into what actually went down, like I said earlier, it was definitely the torque tube. So if you think you're hearing some type of rattle or like metal clanking around and you hear it in the front of, the bell housing, or maybe towards the back of the torque tube where the transmission and differential are, it's possible it could be the torque converter. However, the sound that I was hearing, and when the tech diagnosed it, it was definitely coming from the front bell housing, like right behind the engine, where the flex plate is. So initially we thought it was the flex plate, and it definitely was the prop shaft. So, and what we're assuming, or what I'm assuming, because they didn't take it apart, because like I said, dealerships and typically, you take it to some shop that doesn't specialize in Corvettes or replacing torque tubes, they're not gonna even get into that because they have no idea, what it takes to replace that kind of stuff. So they rather just replace the whole thing. It's a simple unbolt from the transmission, and exposes the torque converter, and they get the new part, they bolt it up there. It's a lot more simple for them. So, well, whereas, you replace the torque tube, or at least the inside parts, you definitely will save yourself a lot of money. I'm talking like, $2,000 or $3,000. But let's get into what actually it cost. So here we actually have the work order. As you can see, we did the drive shaft assembly, aka the torque tube hardware, traditional $200, and the flex plate, $304. Drive shaft assembly, remove and place, that's the labor, which was $1,790, and that came to a total cost of $4,490. So as you can see, that is quite the expense for a torque tube replacement, and that is all the hardware. That's also a flex plate replacement, because Chevy or GM recommends that if you're going to do the torque tube, you also do other parts of drive shaft assembly, aka the torque converter, flex plates, also the one that goes on the back of the torque tube and on top of the torque converter, and sometimes the differential if necessary, or the transmission. However, luckily there was no issues with my differential, there's no issues with my transmission, everything is great. The engine is fine, and there wasn't any significant damage done. The only issue, which is what you'll see in the video that I'm throwing up there, where you can kind of see how they took it apart, where the prop shaft is just wiggling around. So if you're hearing that sound, that metal clanking sound, that's probably more than likely what it is. It's that prop shaft that came loose because the bearings had they're broken down. I mean, this car is 8 years old. It was literally manufactured in 2013, and I've never had a car that I've kept longer than 3 years and I didn't have to do something to it. Because people will say, oh, don't get this car, don't get that car, because you're gonna have these issues. Any car you get is not gonna last forever, I promise you that. So if you keep it longer for 3 or 4 years, I can guarantee you probably had to do something to it, So I've had Mustangs, I've had a Ford Focus, and then now I have my Corvette, and all those cars I've had to do something to eventually. So you're always going to run into something that just needs to be replaced. Nothing lasts forever. So don't let that discourage you. It is an amazing car. I love it. It is definitely something that is more on the expensive end, as far as when things go wrong with it. But hey, that's any vehicle, because I guarantee you replacing an engine in even a modern Honda Accord or something like that, you're looking at another like $2,000, $3,000 possibly. So essentially any car will be expensive, so don't let that discourage you. This is an amazing car. I did buy it used. It wasn't brand new. At 53,000 miles on it. It's got like 59 right now. So it's doing great. I drive this car every day. I love it, and I wouldn't give it up for anything. So I'm also going to show you a speaker replacement that I did, because I also added that to this video. Whereas one of the driver's side speaker, the cone started to separate from the frame, and that apparently is like an issue because moisture and stuff builds up in the door over time. But again, this car is 8 years old. Nothing has been replaced on this thing at all, so I'd say that's pretty good. I just bought like a brand new Bose speaker and replaced it with that, and I mean, it sounds amazing. So I mean, that's just a give and take thing, you know, with these cars. So but I'm going to post this video so you can check it out. That's where I just took the old speaker off. As you can see, this is where the issue is. This cone is separated from the metal completely. So I was getting that screen rattle. You can hear how it slaps up against the metal. Let me see if I put it right here. You can... So with a lot of bass, that's the noise you're gonna get. So I'm gonna give this back to Chevy, see what they want to do with it. And we're gonna put the new one in. So as you can see in the video, the prop shaft was banging around and clanking. And it's possible there was also like a bearing, or you know, the couplers that had broken apart and got chewed down and were also like spinning in there. But again, the torque tube was never actually taken apart. It was sent back to GM, so they're probably gonna, you know, reuse the housing, because the housing was fine, and just replace the internals, even though we know they don't do that. So it'll get refurbished more than likely. And other than that, like I said, that's been pretty much it. I haven't really had any major issues. The thing drives like, I mean, a dream. The torque tube is brand new, drive shaft assembly, the flex plates, and this should not be an issue. As long as the thrust bearings and everything is okay, there's no problems with the crankshaft, which there isn't. This isn't something that you should continue to run into, and hopefully, if it is, that, you know, your Corvette is way lower miles than mine is, and you have a warranty. So but like I said, it's the risk you take. I knew that getting this vehicle, I had no issues with that, and I plan on doing much more to this car. So I know that's not going to be the last of my worries the more I continue, you know, to drive the mess out of this thing. But that's why I got it, you know, to enjoy it. So thanks for checking out this video. I hope this helped you a little bit, and helped you, you know, I guess be a little more in tune with the types of noises these cars are making when you hear that metal sound. Like I said in that video with the prop shaft banging around. If it sounds like that and you hear that metal clanking around, it's possible it could be the flex plate, because they also make a similar sound when they start to get cracks and they start to wobble around. So that would be a much cheaper fix than actually replacing the whole torque tube. But in my case, it was the worst case scenario. It was a torque tube. It was out of warranty, and I just had to, you know, cover the cost. But needless to say, I'm glad that everything is working. It's back on the road. As you can see, everything is going well. But again, thanks for checking this video out. Thanks so much for liking, subscribing, commenting. Please continue to do that and spread this information. I greatly appreciate it. Peace.